Where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now. I'm in a special place. I'm still walking grace. Where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. The FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 Studio or 88.9 WMVA Studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Evans' Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in 1350 and 88.9. And if you want to hear us all over the world, all you have to do is go to www.christianbroadcastingcompany.com on 1350 AM or 1400 AM. And guess what? You can hear us all over the world. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning. Mr. E, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace. 895.3 at WMVA, 88.9 and WPCE 1400 AM.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
You can like it, you can share it, you can subscribe. As a matter of fact, go to YouTube and subscribe. Cristo Records 1, CRISTO Records 1, and it'll be great. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Shout out.
Mr. E.
Yes.
What day is it today?
Today is hump day.
It's the middle of the week. You all should be up and popping.
That's right.
Especially on a beautiful day like today. Hampton Roads is absolutely lovely. We're expecting temperatures in the 80s, Mr. E, all this week.
89 degrees on the day, might hit 90 degrees.
I kind of feel it too. I'm trying to tell you, it is definitely warming. A little bit of humidity, and we're known in Hampton Roads for the humidity.
You know that summertime, sometimes.
Humidity is ferocious. Summertime, but we just got a little sneak peek of it, and then by the evening it kind of cools down.
That's right. Well, it could be raining, it could be snowing, but guess what? We got that summertime blues on the way to the 757 and the 252.
I don't know about the blues, but I'm looking forward to the warm. Anytime God gives you all. Gives us all air conditioning and cars, and most of us work inside, and hey, He accommodates everything that we need, and so when it's hot outside, we know what to do. Turn the air conditioner.
That's it. I'll turn the fans on.
Fan, air conditioning, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's right. He did wonderful by us. He said, listen, I give you warm weather in the summertime, and if you get too hot, you can put on your air conditioner. Yes. And then if it's raining too bad outside, you can put on your galoshes and your raincoat.
Absolutely. So, Mr. E, it's Wednesday, the middle of the week. This is our segment, What's Under the Hat Issues Concerning You Men.
That's right. That's issues concerning the men and men and men.
But look, We got a feature today. What fathers want and what fathers need. You know, Father's Day is coming up on Sunday. I got ahead of myself last week, but it's this
That's
Sunday.
right.
And I'm excited because I love when Father's Day come around. I lost my father, I was very young, but the idea of celebrating my husband as a father, my nephews and my uncles and all, all them
All of them.
all them. It's just really wonderful to celebrate men as fathers.
That's right. And they need a little pat on the back to let them know that, it's your day and want to make sure that, we know how to make daddy happy.
We got to find out how to make daddy happy. We got to find out what they want, what they need, and some of the things they would appreciate on Father's Day. Mr. E is big on that. He feels like, you all go on and get those little trinkets at the dollar store. It's not
Last minute.
really, it's not really hitting for him.
That's
But
right.
he's gonna come up with some suggestions and things like that. I want to ask the question. I'm gonna, it may not be a cute question, but are daddies grumpy? Cricket.
They can get
Let's talk
grumpy.
about the demeanor of daddies.
Okay.
I'm sure daddies. You got daddies, all type of daddies, all type of personalities, character. But do you think dads are a little bit grumpy? Can they be a little bit grouchy?
They can be because they carry the whole world on their shoulder and
Yeah,
they're trying to make sure that everything is going well. I did some research, Miss Hinton, and we came up with how to make daddies happy. Everybody wants a healthy relationship with their dad. When your dad is happy with you, you get the best treatment from him and most likely be happy too. It can be difficult to pleasing your daddy, but it's important to do so for a healthy family.
our daddy's controlling.
They are because they the head. They are known as the hunter. They are protectors. They are the bodyguards. They are the providers. They are dads.
I like that.
You know
And I'm asking you these questions because these were some of the questions as I was, researching as well and everything. I just want to know, how people see dads. First of all, how do we see them? Um, most people love their daddies.
that's right.
Even though sometimes they may disagree, everybody disagrees. But I think most people really love their dad and appreciate his position
That's right.
as protector.
That's right.
You know, he,
Provider. Yeah.
he is a strong force in the home.
That's right.
And so, I really appreciate the fact that he has not only obligation but a position that he holds, and hopefully most of them are fulfilling that mission.
And when dads are out there, he may not be that one that will be talking. He's just walking around to make sure that everything is well taken care of. To make sure the things that you may not never, as family members or a wife, may not never look at, he's there to make sure every end is tied together. And he also there to make sure the lions and the tigers and the bears,
Absolutely.
somebody should holler, oh man, won't come on the property.
Yes, I love seeing fathers in the park. I go and I walk, and I love seeing them. And they don't have to be with their wives or their significant other. They are there with their children,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just a beautiful, beautiful sight.
Miss Hinton, there are some things that we need to let our listening audience know. Now, one of the things, and these are three parts to what we're looking at. Three parts of this is one is to get along with your daddy.
By spending time with him, that's a good point.
Asking him for advice.
Absolutely.
Now
Getting advice from dad.
show affection.
Okay, let's stop there. Do you think your children show you enough affection? But dude, this is the thing. When I ask about the demeanor of a father, is that what he is looking for? Fathers, is that what you want? Do you want affection?
We want affection.
Are you that type of person that welcomes? I know when they're young, you can see how men embrace their children, love on their children, hold and carry and talk to them, play with them. As they get older, Does the dynamics change? Does the relationship change at all?
Here's the thing that we got to understand about dads. Dads take them through all the changes of one's life. And then once they get older, he's learning how to treat them as young adults,
Yes.
and not just their little boy or their little girl. Dads want you to show them that you love them, in your own special way. He wants you to speak to him in a caring word. Some dads even like to be kissed.
Okay. I can imagine, affection.
That's
Everyone
right.
loves
That's right.
affection. They love touch and things like that. I'm thinking of, like I said, of dads as they, nurture their youngins, and they do a fabulous job. Most of them, uh, mostly all of them, not every one of them, but you know what I mean. But I'm wondering if men, daddies are a type of people that, since they're so strong in their head, they don't want to seem as though they're people that make mistakes. And Mr. E, when children see dad is not, uh, a person that is not perfect, does it change? Do children seem to look at dad in a different way? If dad makes a mistake, it's like, oh, you made the first mistake. You're not supposed. Daddies are not supposed to make mistakes. Certain things we look at men like they're not supposed to do. They're not supposed to have emotion. They're not supposed to have feeling. But do they also have this thing where once their children see that they are vulnerable and they do make mistakes, it changes the dynamic of the relationship? You think?
If they start out being the big bad wolf, strong, protected, and then some things happen in life that shows that, hey, look, it might look like I'm weak, but I'm still dad. When we look at dads, really want to show some affection. They really want you to really know that he's valuable.
Yes.
Show him that, hey, look, once a child, you got to remember through this time of year that dad's value it decreases. It doesn't stay up like mama all year long. Mama value is until
Oh
death.
my.
But when you look at a dad, because his value, because the boys are getting grown, the girls got husbands now, and guess what? Daddy is no longer valuable in their life.
You got to move over,
That's
huh?
right. Once a young man get to the point, they shy away from dad,
Mhm.
because they don't got all the information that they need to be men. And now
Oh,
they're
I like
taking
that.
all the information that daddy has given unto them and they're incorporating what they
I
know
like
in there together.
it. So
So
they're
they're
shy
shy
away
away
from
from
it.
dad. And sometimes it makes dad feel you don't even want to be around me. You don't, I have three boys. I have three boys and three girls, and I can say for a fact that once them boys get to a certain age, Miss Hinton, they know I got this. I got this. I got this.
I
I
like
got this.
that.
And the boys, some boys especially tend to shy away from showing affection to their
Uh-huh.
parents.
Mhm.
Trying to find the leverage. In your comfort zone. How can I? I'm grown up now. My dad is still thinking I'm the little boy. I'm that little boy that he real. Now I'm mature. I'm growing up, so they got to shy away. And daddy, it offends dads because dad's still thinking that he's still your little boy and she's still your little girl.
Wow. He like well implement his values, make a list of what you think are dad's values.
Yeah,
Think of the phrases your dad repeatedly says, such as always tell the truth or try to do your best. These indicate the values he's teaching. Honesty and hard work. The two examples that you can follow dad with. And dads, they make mistakes, but they still need love. The one thing they do need is forgiveness when they do make mistakes, when they are wrong, because sometimes fathers, as the head, they can be
that's right.
stubborn.
That's right.
They can think they know it all. And they sometimes see life through their own, perspective and eyes. They can't get out of the box. Sometimes, when dad, when you got a child that's growing up and they have opinions and things like that. Sometimes dad shut them down because they figured my way is the best
That's right.
way.
And don't get into a competition with dad. Once a young man, a young woman get of age, listen, show your dad that he's still valuable in your life and not be competitive. You
This,
know,
yes,
young men has a tendency of want to be in competitive mood with dad, you know, but they doing it wrong, Miss Hinton, and especially in dad's house. Dad done worked his
yes.
fingers down to the bone to make sure you got the best, and then when you get of age, you start smelling yourself, as the old folks would say, and then you want to try dad. You want to, you really want to prove dad wrong because he's been the hero all your young life. And now you would say, I got to prove to this man I'm a man and he's wrong.
It says respect him even if you disagree. It can be difficult not to answer back, especially if you don't agree with something your dad is saying or if he's not granting you permission for something you desperately want. Exercise some self discipline and wait to have a discussion when you're calm.
You know, since you also got to make mental health a priority. You know, you also got to be able to look down and see mental health and make it a priority. No more waiting days, weeks, or even months to find a therapist. Sign up with Better Health, and you can get the match with the therapy. You know, I mean, sometimes you got to work with him, and then you got to be responsible, being responsible.
Absolutely.
Do your chores.
Absolutely. I want to go back to respecting him, even if you disagree. Sometimes, and I want to talk to the youngins, I want to talk to the teenagers and the older children. Sometimes you forget all that daddy does.
That's right.
Sometimes. And so when you don't really see the big picture, you just say, well, daddy come and go, daddy's quiet, daddy grouchy, daddy won't let me do this, that. But take the time to sit back and see all the things that he has done and will do for you. Some daddies, they will die for you,
That's
whether you
right.
know it
That's
or
right.
not.
That's right.
Uh,
Give you
they're,
your last coins.
they're opinionated. They are they're older, so they figured, hey, I know better than you. And so you have to have patience with your daddy. You have to understand him as well. You have to see him and understand that dads have a story.
That's right.
Sometimes we
That's right.
see daddies and fathers and parents as a figurehead. All we see is the authoritarian, but you don't know sometimes you don't know their past, you don't know what they've been through, you don't know their hurts, you don't know their concerns, their worries, their fears. Sometimes they lack and they can't tell you. And so, for that reason, sometimes we need to just back off a little bit, have a little bit of understanding, and try to find ways of continuing to love even when you see weakness.
Exercise self-discipline. That's, exercise that even if daddy, is wrong, wait to discuss things with him. When you are calm. Wait, if you and daddy don't disagree, doesn't agree, wait a little while before you come at him. Because here's what you're going to have. Two men, son and daughter, daddy and a daughter, a daddy and a son. Now you done separated yourself in his house, and you don't want to speak to him. In his house, you don't want to
Yes.
talk to him, but you need him, and you mad at him, and but you need him to come through for you, and but you're still mad, and dad mad at you because guess what? You can't respect me as your father. Respect goes a long way. That's even though what hurts a daddy is when he's being disrespected.
Yes. It talks about being responsible, how you can make daddy happy. This is how you can make him happy. Do your
Do your
chores.
chores. You know what you
Do
got
your
to do. Make
chores.
your room up, clean your
That's your
bed. Yeah.
job. When you're coming up, dad delegates certain responsibilities, mommy too. And but do those chores. Go to school and do your work.
Yeah.
That makes dad proud and it makes the load lighter. When you're in school and you're fighting and you're carrying on. Now dad gotta come up there and he got to sometimes he gets out of character, it's more pressure on him if you just go ahead and take on the responsibilities that you need to do as a child, or a young man, Just be responsible and do what you know is best to do to keep the heavy load off of that.
So daddies don't want to go to nobody's school and be
I know it.
looking like he just crazy. He just that ain't my boy. That no, I didn't raise him that way. And you sit over there pouting. He trying to get you to get yourself together, and you sit there mad as gas. And he's saying, "Son, get yourself together." And he might rouse up every now and then in front of the folk, in front of the
Yes.
principal, to let you know I'll knock your head up. And you should have.
Mr. E, I used to work for the principal, and I used to do certain running and do certain things for the principal. Um, and it wasn't a job, paid job. I was a student, and I would see so many daddies coming there, and I'm talking about firing up their youngers. You couldn't get away with stuff that people are getting away with now, fighting teachers and whatnot. But I'm telling you, there was a many a daddy coming up there taking
That's
care
right.
of business.
That's
And I mean,
right.
right in front of the principal, everything, just take out the belt and start swinging.
Back in the day, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Right then and there,
Yes.
my dad used to tell us, if I got to come to school, it ain't gonna be nothing nice. My dad said and plus back in the days of old, they would believe the adult over a child.
Oh,
Right
yes.
now, it's a toss up, the child and the adult. Who do you believe? What happened to the respect of an adult? Right now, what daddy would do, my dad back in the day, when he come to the schoolhouse, regardless of what your story may be, you got to get it. You got to get it. For one, you're disrespecting an adult. And so
Yes.
my daddy would knock you
Yes.
out. I mean, he'll walk in there, pull that old big old leather belt out of you
Did it
and
straighten you up?
straighten you right on up. And I remember a time when my dad came to school, I was in the 6th grade. The teacher told me to take my hands out of my pocket. And I'm big, bad, and bodacious. I took my hand out and put my thumb in my pocket. And the teacher reached down to pull my thumb out of my pocket. And I swung on the teacher.
Oh,
And I left the school and I went on home. My daddy gonna come out here. My daddy gonna do this to you because you tried to hit his son. So my dad came out there and listened to the principal side. And you know what the boys in my classroom said?
well,
Your daddy gonna whip you.
and you probably should have known it too.
Oh, I knew Clarence Edward came out there and they left the loudspeaker on, and my daddy wore me out in that school.
Daddies did not play.
That's right.
But this is something else that can help. Make daddies happy. Get along with your teachers. Don't talk back. Don't have daddy up there getting out of
Looking like he's a
character because you
clown.
have lied or
They don't lie. Children don't lie.
told the teacher, told on the teacher. You want to tell your version of the story and everything. Have good friends. Show respect. That means a lot to daddies.
That's right.
Especially respect. That is key for a daddy.
You
Give
know,
him that respect that he really wants.
and no, and while you're in school, also be responsible. Take initiative on yourself. Keep your room tidy. Don't have them old stinking socks all over everywhere. Use the internet and your phone responsible. Take care of your siblings. These are some of the things. And do well in school. Study well. Do your work. Because back in the days of old and now, that's didn't send you to school to look good and not go to work. You got to do your job.
Would you recommend daddies and their children when they are having conflict to, seek family management or counseling? Because sometimes things are not remedied because people won't seek out maybe their third party to intervene and to show them how to discuss things, show them how to resolve issues and conflict. They just go on doing the same thing and it doesn't work. The more people try to do and fix things, the worse things get. We were talking about this on one of our shows last week and how, especially in the African American community, our folk have a tendency of shying away from anything that helps to resolve issues, mental illness, or anything like that because of how we've been taught. But do you think that sometimes that mediation and that person could come in and really help the family when it comes to conflict.
Here's how I think. Here's how it should work. One, that's daddy and son and mama.
Uh-huh.
Mama should be the mediator. Mama should be
Really?
mama should be able to pull them together because she's the middle person. You know,
Mhm.
daddy said, look, okay, one thing you got to remember about the day, daddies in the days of old. I ain't going to see nobody. What goes on in my house stays in my house. It's nobody else's business. Now, if it's get to the point where they're fighting and they can't get it together, yeah, if you feel the need to go and talk to your pastor, go and talk to your, go and talk to a somebody therapist, to
Counselor,
a counselor,
pastor,
yeah, and
somebody, a third
get some help.
person. Because if mom is on the side of the child, even if the
Mo-
child is wrong, that's a problem. If the mom is on dad's side, he wrong as anything, So mom may not be the right fit. I mean, if she's able to be neutral, that's one thing. But if she's sitting up there and the child can do no wrong, and every time the child is whining or whatever, and she jump on the daddy with the
with
daggone
the child,
children,
yeah,
you get. So I'm saying I feel as though sometimes we can get better results, Mr. E, when we use people, outside that specialize. And I'm bringing it up because we have a wonderful guest that's going to be coming
that's
on
right,
with
that's
us
right.
soon, Dr. Hez Brown. He specializes in conflict resolution, and so he has a great book, and I really recommend that people find ways of resolving conflict.
That's
You
right.
can have a better relationship, I believe, with father and son, father and daughter, father and who.
That's right. The telephone lines are available. We'll open up the phone lines for 2 or 3 calls. The telephone number is 757-624-9475. That's the number to dial. That's the number to call if you want to voice your opinion. And if you want to let us know how should these things be happening, how to make daddy happy, what you need to do in order for daddy to be, to be happy on father. Do you go down to the dollar store?
Well, that's the thing. We get ready to ask Mr. E. Look, this is a Mr. E question because Mr. E always talking about y'all going down to the daggone dollar store. Mr. E, what
Yes.
do men want? What do fathers need? What should you get fathers on for Father's Day?
Miss Hinton, a lot of fathers will say, I don't want anything.
I know.
But that's a lot of daddy would say because they want to make sure the home is taken care of. So my kudos to them. But if you watch your daddy very carefully, and you see that he said, I sure like to have this and I sure
Yeah.
like to have that. He's letting you know through the course of the years that he would sure like to have this and this. I need this and this. He might say, I need an edger and haven't got the edger yet.
Yeah.
But he said he need that. And not only that, there were some things that I saw, Miss Hinton, that would make daddy very proud. If daddy said, oh, my daughter or my son bought me a nice watch that said dad on the inside. That'll really shake some stuff up within him, that said, oh, I remember my baby gave me this.
I think you have to look for hints. I think dads are speaking and saying, look, oh, I saw something. Listen for those hints.
That's right.
Go down there. And not only that, don't wait till Father's Day to bless your father.
That's right. That's right.
Give him a hug throughout the year.
You call him through the years.
Make sure, take him out sometime. Don't wait for Father's Day just to take him out. Do something special. And then for all you all that have not, had a good relationship, and don't let dad go to the grave and you haven't told him you love. Don't let dad go to the grave and fight for 50 years.
Yeah.
Don't let dad go to the grave. Look, most of the time we all wrong. I'm not saying that dads don't cut up, but I'm just saying, Lord knows as much as you can, make sure you try to get together with dad and show him a wonderful, wonderful, happy Father's Day. Well, look, we gotta go, but we're gonna be over here just for a few minutes talking about Father's Day, what not to get fathers, what to get them, and if you can't join us, we'll see you back here on Fun Friday. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. On behalf of Miss Hinton and myself, we want to say Happy Father's Day to you, and to you. Also, want to let you know that right here at FYI Radio, right here at CBC Christian Broadcasting Company, we will be having a Father's Day celebration. So come on
Yeah.
out here from 12 to 2 on Friday. You might get an opportunity to meet Miss Yolanda, Lady Hinton, and myself as we begin to celebrate Father's Day on this Friday. Don't forget to join us. And for more information, give us a call at 757 714 7861. That's 757 714 7861. And have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Father's Day.
Hey, thank you all so much for joining us. Roberta Carter, Sheila Davis, Sheila Robbins. I don't, Mr. E, or anybody else that you can name on your feed. I got to look at mine because I know it's some other folks that's up here. But we want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support. And I just want to, like I was saying at the end, Mr. E, about our live segment, radio segment, try as much as you can. You know, sometimes daddies, fathers are hard headed because why? They have a position that they hold and they're trying to really, really, do what they know. A lot of times people teach what they've been taught. And sometimes, dads, they're strong, but sometimes they do make mistakes. But you gotta let men be human too. You got
That's
to
right.
let them
That's
have
right.
emotions. You got to let them have needs and wants. You got to, stop looking at them so high where they can't make mistakes because fathers make mistakes too.
That's right. You,
So they want love and they want respect and they want forgiveness.
you know, Miss Hinton, a lot of folks may not never understand. If it wasn't for your daddy, you would not be here.
Oh, and that is the truth.
If it wasn't for your daddy, you wouldn't be who you are. You would be somebody else. But if it wasn't for your daddy, you are that man's child. You got his bloodline in him. You got traits of his blood in you. So guess what? You learn how to respect your daddy. Learn how to love him
Absolutely.
like never before.
Love him. And Mr. E, we know we don't have a lot of time, but Mr. E is gonna tell y'all what he does not want for Father's Day, and he'll give suggestions on what men want for Father's Day.
That's right. Sister, thank you for this opportunity to let everybody know that what I don't want nothing from the dollar store.
Why not? What's wrong with the dollar
You
store?
know, when you look at what you get from the dollar store, that shows you that $1.25. That shows you that you only worth $1.25. That's all the value that we said in our segment earlier. Make him feel valuable. Make him
Yes.
feel that he's the head of the game. He's top of the line because he's not going to give you the second best. Your father will give you the very best. So in return, you got to make him feel like he's the king. He's the big thing on the throne, that he can do nothing wrong, that he's daddy.
Yeah. Especially compared to Mother's Day. Now,
That's right.
goodness, where everybody goes out. Everybody's, there taking mom out for dinner. The bride is
Flowers.
wrapped around the restaurant, flowers, candy, balloons, money, gifts. So compare that to that old pipe you got $100 for.
That's right.
Compared to that, look, those socks that he really don't want. He's got about 500 packs of them. You keep
That
not
time.
being creative enough with your gifts for dad. Start being
That's
creative.
right. And don't give him no high karate.
Oh, yeah.
That cologne that it has a real pretty name, look good, but don't smell like nothing. Make sure if you're gonna give your dad something, give him something that he will appreciate.
Take him to the comedy club. Take him for dinner and a show. Take him to, let's see, what else it would be good? Take him out and buy him an outfit. outfit, or give them a money or gift card.
Show your daddy off.
Show
Yeah, show them off.
off.
Let your
Take
friends
them
know.
dancing.
Yeah, let your friends know this my daddy. This my make him feel proud. You get more bees with honey. You get more
Yes.
bees with honey when you mess around with that man and make that old man feel like he's sitting over in the corner looking real sad and all y'all making the little hoop to do over mama. Oh, that y'all psyched up my mama. And then if you can't get along with your father, man, try to bridge the gap. Hey,
Yes. Yes.
try to bridge the gap. Do you know what hurts a man that has been doing everything he could possibly do to help raise a child? Is to hear you tell him that he ain't nothing, and then he got to
Ooh.
turn his back and still provide.
Oh my, that is amazing. Yeah, there are some very strained relationships, but hopefully, those that can and will be come together with their fathers, you know, and try to bridge a gap. Try to, at least, speak. Or,
That's
and,
right.
and this is the thing. I know different people who have that strained relationship with their fathers, Mr. E, and it's really a sad thing. um, I've seen people upset with their father, and then all of a suddenly the father dies, and they're in panic zone, and they're hurt because they never got a chance to reconcile with their fathers. It's a sad situation. So, those that can resolve issues. You got some fathers that you won't be able to. But I'm saying if he's just made a little mistake or whatever, or he didn't give you what you wanted, don't not forgive him for his weaknesses and stuff like that. Try all you can to have a better relationship with him, if possible, if possible.
And you got to remember, he makes mistakes just like you makes mistakes.
Uh-huh.
He makes, he's not, he's daddy. He should be, recognized as being your hero. You know, uh, and don't. Here's another thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to cut him in right in front of his face by going to mama. You go to
Ooh.
mama and dad is sitting right there, and you don't want to say anything to him. You don't want to say a word. Well, and then what mama has to do to keep peace in the house, she has to talk it over with daddy. And then you got some mamas don't even want to talk or just go ahead and do what you got to do because he's an evil man.
And
He,
sometimes look in the mirror, you may be just like your dad.
that's right.
Sometimes people don't see it, and sometimes, you find the conflict is that, those two personalities are either so much alike and they can't see each other. They're so busy seeing you. They got the finger at you, their four is at them, four fingers at them, one finger at you, and they can't see that they doing the same thing. They can't see that they think the same way. They can't see that they act the same way. And so sometimes look in the mirror and say, am I like my daddy? I think daddy's stubborn. Are you stubborn? I think daddy is big mouth. Do you have a big mouth? I think daddy is too mean, huffy, and
It's
puffy.
you, me.
He won't let me do what I want. Are you that same type of person?
Miss Cynthia, you said something earlier about daddies. You said that daddies might give you a life lesson, might give you a story of what he been through in life.
Yes.
Sometimes daddy wants you to know that when he came up, he had to get some soda bottles. It won't that he had a tree in the backyard, and he want to let you know that. As in other words, I'm not going to be here for the rest of all my life. But these are the things that I had to do in order to make sure that you got what you got.
Yes.
I had to lay on the floor all night long.
Yes.
I had to drive a piece of car. I had to get out there in the transit or in the rain, snow, and sleet just to make the ends meet to keep a roof over your head. So daddies might want to tell you a story. You might not don't want to hear the story that daddies want to tell you, but there's a lesson behind the story. The
Absolutely.
lesson is there's gonna be a day that you're gonna have to go through something. You're gonna have to go through survival mode. We'll let you know I've been through it. So if I've been through, you're gonna have to go through something also in life. So all you got to do is know that you can make it on broken pieces.
Well, the thing about it is sometimes we don't know the story of our fathers and our fathers' fathers. there's a time, our children now are very privileged. They
That's
have
right.
so much, they can get so much. Why? Because prosperity, people are prospering so much in this day and time. But don't you know that, especially African American men, had to go through a time when they were excluded.
That's
They
right.
did not get opportunity. They were looked down on and shut out. And so, for those reasons, they may have come in, when you're born, they may have brought some of the trauma with them. And so, sometimes you may not understand dad, but like I said, trying to get to know who he is, because sometimes dad have suffered from trauma. They are either overprotective, they are trying to, manage themselves along with the family. There was a time when a man, he was the head over the family, and mom was home.
That's right.
My
That's
mom's
right.
day and her mom's day, he had to take care of
Everybody.
everybody. And so now, it may be a different thing. Women are working now, but it could be a thing also, Mr. E, where sometimes men feel as though they're losing their position, as though they don't get the respect they need because mom can come in and say, look, I heard a woman say, look, you don't tell me what to do because I got my money, and you know what, you can go, you can look, I don't need you. And so, there are a lot of things now which, really make things different for a man. So a child understanding his father, or a young man understanding his father, may go a long way, get to know who he is deeply in my heart. You may be surprised what he's been through and what he knows that can really be an asset to you. Mr. Chris Hinton, Beard God, listen, go to www.beardgods, PEARDGODZ.com. Father's Day is coming up on Sunday. Make sure you go and get those products. He has a great line of products for beards, for hair. He got hoodies, he has hats, he has wooden picks, uh, things that can help you stay groomed and look good. It's a perfect Father's Day gift. It's www.beardgods.com. Mr. Chris Hinton is the owner, CEO, and founder of this wonderful company.
That's www.beardgodz.com. That's right.
Absolutely.
Go to beardgod.com and say, hey, look. Father did right around the corner. My dad got a straggly beard. And I heard that you had the best products in the whole wide world. So I want what they got.
Well, Mr. E, we have some upcoming shows. Look, we mentioned one of them. Dr. Hez Brown is coming on soon. Conflict resolution.
That's
He's
right.
the author of that book. He has resolved issues in government and corporate world, in homes, in schools. I'm telling you, this man is a pro. And you all, please join us. He may be able to help you, resolve some of your issues and some of your relationship problems, father and son, father and daughter, father and his father. It could be, something that could really, really help our audience, our listeners, and our viewers.
We also got Mr. Head. You said Mr. Head Brown will be with us, along with Mr. Keon Wiggins. Will be our special guest too on issues concerning men. What's underneath the hat? Mr. James Luther will be back with us after we get his head out of the sand. After we get his head out of the sand. And Dr. LaConda Fleming will be with us on our After Dark morning show.
Yes. So don't forget to join us on Fun Friday. We're going to have a wonderful show. Issues concerning women.
Yes.
And we're just going to talk about some things that are coming up as well. We're so glad that you all have joined us on today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy this weather. Do something good for yourself. Do something good for someone else. And don't forget to join us back here. Look, don't forget, link is right underneath your nose. You can go to crystalrecords.com, CRISTO Records, with an S.com. You can get the book, you can get the music, And also, we're getting ready to launch a new website, bulwarkacademy.com. That's where you're going to find all the anti-bullying games, the books, and things like that. And soon to be a program curriculum that's coming up real soon. You're going to be able to find out more information about that. Don't forget the ladies' music. Wherever music is sold, don't forget the ladies going to launch the Ladies Royals Pie. I'm excited about that. Getting everything right for that, Mr. E, and looking forward to a wonderful launch.
That sounds wonderful. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 on WPCE 1400 Peace 95.3 FM, WMVA 88.9, WGPL 1350 AM, and all social media platforms.
Absolutely. So you all be blessed. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here on Fun Friday.
For more information, call us 757-714-7861. That's 757-714-7861. And don't forget, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Tell him that you love him.
Absolutely. Bye now.
2 up, 2 down.